My name is Chris. I have Drew here with me.
Hi.
And we're from Cinq-Mars Media, an educational nonprofit. This is our newest game, many years in the making, called Copy Editor. Yeah, this game, it's a text processing game, which is kind of strange. Essentially, you're just trying to get the text on the left to look like the text on the right. And you do that using these rules here that look almost exactly like the same kinds of find and replace rules that you'd find in a modern text editor. So here, the original text is from Charles Dickens' Tale of Two Cities, and for whatever reason, comically explained in the company Slack channel chat thing, the tense is wrong. So we have it is the best of times, it is the worst of times, and of course the text is it was the best of times, it was the worst of times. So one of the first things we can do in the find and replace, and we can go is and was. But there's a problem that because other words have the string is inside of them, we're creating all of these words like whoa, wasdom, when we want wisdom. And that's where the educational component of this game comes into play, where you're learning regular expressions. And in this first level, you're learning \s means to match a white space. So instead of matching the string is, we're matching is with a white space, and then of course adding a space here fixes wisdom and also fixes the tense of is. And then the rest of this puzzle, it's really just replacing have with had and are with were. That's the introductory puzzle. The game is in early access. It's being worked on a daily basis, and we will soon have kind of histograms to show you how performant your solution was compared to others online. And of course encourage you to optimize it so that you're using the least amount of characters possible. Later on, for example, you will learn that there is another command /b which matches matches a word boundary, not a white space, and you can save one character in the solution by eliminating the space in the replace window. So you can actually come back to this level later and improve the efficiency and elegance of your solution based on new concepts that you will learn. Let's skip ahead a little bit. Let's go to Wherefore Art Thou? We have the famous passage from Romeo and Juliet where they're talking about what is in a name, and thought it would be cute if the premise of the level was that their names got switched. So on the left we have Juliet saying all of Romeo's lines, Romeo saying all of Juliet's lines, and all references therein being switched. One would think that the answer would simply be to just go Romeo, Juliet, and then of course for the uppercase we go Romeo in uppercase to Juliet in uppercase. So far so good. We're halfway there. Juliet to Romeo and Juliet to Romeo. Except we're still having an issue here, and the reason is because this level is designed to teach players that these rules are applied from top to bottom. So once all of the text gets changed to Juliet, once we change it from Juliet back to Romeo, it actually changes everything to Romeo, and we lose all mention of Juliet altogether. And of course, this means that we need to, and by the way, I integrated drag and drop. Isn't that cool?
Very great.
We need to actually store something like a temporary variable here. So Juliet is not totally Juliet, and then add another rule that eliminates all underscores. And that way we are able to solve a level. And as you can see, this required no regular expressions at all. Many levels don't. They're just about text processing, order of operations, and coming up with interesting, creative ways to process the text.
Chris, you're the primary developer. Why did you want to make this game? What was the idea behind it?
So I was actually doing a lot of neural network work. In fact, I was working on another one of our projects that's going to release in a couple of years that relies heavily on natural language processing. And I was trying to catch and identify things that were of high likelihood to be gibberish. And I ended up having to sanitize hundreds of thousands of, in most cases, scripts, plays, theater pieces and so on. And I basically had to make these long find and replace rules using regular expressions and using all these natural language tools. And I actually had a lot of fun doing it, and I missed it when it was over. And that's kind of what got me into making a game of it, because I learned so much doing that, and I enjoyed it so much that it felt natural as a game. In creating this game, one of the most important aspects Drew and I felt was the community aspect of being able to build levels, share levels with other people, and find kind of your creative niche within these text processing puzzles. I'm going to make a username, and here we have our level builder, where we can actually customize the text for whatever we want the input to be, customize the text for whatever we want the output to be, and then of course we have to solve it to prove that the level is fair. Theoretically, all levels are fair, because given enough rules, essentially, you can transform any one text into any other. Some of our later texts are even translating from Spanish to English, and using, looking at patterns, trying to exploit those patterns using the tools that you've learned, and replacing them en masse. And of course, you can ban certain characters from being able to be used. You can limit the number of characters that can be used. It works just like the regular game. We have the user levels here. You can search by a creator that you like. You can search a specific ID from a level that maybe your friend made, and you can browse by difficulty of different levels that people have made. I think what's also exciting is that given the field of data science and how that's been ballooning recently, and machine learning and neural networks, a lot of data scientists are not necessarily programmers, but they need to process large swaths of text. And even if they don't have a programming background, they can learn how to do text processing using regular expressions in this way.